Here's a slightly uncomfortable truth in water engineering. A lot of utilities don't actually know how much water they're losing. We calculate it, we report it, we manage it, but very often, the number itself is wrong, sometimes by plus or minus 20%. Let's start with the basics. Non-revenue water, or NRW, is water that's produced but never billed. That includes real losses like leaks, apparent losses like meter error or theft, authorized but unbilled use. On paper, it sounds straightforward. Water in minus water out equals losses. But the reality is much messier. One of the biggest problems starts with night flow analysis. Many utilities assume that whatever flow happens late at night, say between 2 and 4 a.m., is mostly leakage. But that assumption quietly ignores a lot of things. Commercial refrigeration systems, hospitals and care facilities, industrial processes, pressure-dependent customer use, even irrigation timers set wrong. That minimum night flow isn't just leaks, it's leaks plus real demand, and separating the two is guesswork. Now let's talk about meters, because this is where things really drift.
Customer meters can under-register at low flows, wear over time, and fail differently depending on usage patterns, where production meters can drift, often be poorly calibrated, and sometimes aren't even measuring what we think they are measuring.
A 1 or 2% meter error doesn't sound like much until you scale it to millions of gallons per day. When you stack assumed night flows, meter uncertainty, data gaps, estimation formulas, your final NRW number can easily be off by plus or minus 20%. That's not a rounding error. That's the difference between replacing mains, replacing meters, or doing nothing at all.
This is why people say utilities are sometimes managing ghosts. You're chasing leaks that don't exist, or missing losses that do. And when funding, public trust, and regulatory pressure depend on these numbers, bad estimates lead to bad decisions. The takeaway isn't that water loss accounting is useless, it's that it's an estimate, not a measurement. And the more confident we sound about a single number, the more careful we should be. Because in water systems, what you don't see often costs the most. If you work in water, you already know, the system is always more complicated underground.